Good evening, everyone. Late Night Mega here, and welcome to part 3 in a series that I'm going through of what is the best way to build a collection on Magic Arena. And part 1, we talked about Premier Draft, and we looked at some of my data from a handful of recent sets, and basically how that would have compared to just buying packs. And we found that Premier Drafting was better than just taking those gems that we would have lost over the course of the Premier Drafting and buying packs. But there is another form of drafting on Magic Arena, and that is the Quick Draft. Now, the Quick Draft, there's actually a lot of different things going on with Quick Draft. You can see here immediately it costs half as much as the Premier Drafts do, or traditional drafts as well. So it's only 5,000 gold or 750 gems. 5,000 gold being the cost of 5 packs. But it's half the cost, and if you look at the max prize, it's 950 gems and 2 packs. Only 2 packs as opposed to Premier Draft 6 packs. And just a little bit over the cost of that. Well, what else happens if we get lower down on the win scale? 850 gems in 1 pack. But there's also a chance for you to get a second pack. So there's a random chance that you might still get 2 packs doing this. And that's where things are going to get a little bit funky. 850, and then we get to 5 wins, 650 gems, and 1 pack, with a 35% chance to bonus pack. So anywhere along the line here of wins, you get a chance of getting a second pack. The chance increases, and then, of course, once you get to 7 wins, you're guaranteed the 2 packs. Also worth noting that 5 wins here in a quick draft does not make for a profitable draft. You're still down 100 gems. This would be like 4 wins at a Premier Draft, where 4 wins is worth 1,400 gems, and the cost to enter a Premier Draft is 1,500 gems. And you'd also get 3 packs at 4 wins. Yeah, 3 packs at 4 wins when you're in a Premier Draft. Whereas here, 4 wins gets you 450 gems in 1 pack, with a 30% chance of getting that second pack. So this means that it takes more wins to break even or profit on a draft, and you get a lower amount of packs than Premier Drafting, and getting 4 more wins in a Premier Draft, you're guaranteed to get more packs than this. So I guess we can just wipe our hands of that, and yeah, Premier Drafting is better, right? Well, maybe not. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on here. So with half the cost, in theory, we could do double the amount of drafts, right? And why is that relevant? Well, in these quick drafts, the method that I'm going to use for quick drafting or employ, I haven't quite done this yet, I'm just starting this process, is I'm going to pick up any rare, or mythic rare of course, that I don't already have 4 copies of. It doesn't matter if those cards go in my deck, it doesn't matter if they're good or not. If I don't have 4 copies of it, and it's there, I'm going to pick it. Which means, at the bare minimum, we get 3 packs, because you open 3 packs in the draft, you get 3 rares, and you're guaranteed 1 additional pack and 50 gems. And that's not quite the same as just going to the store and buying 5 packs. But you're also going to get more uncommons generally from doing drafts than you would just opening packs. Because when you open packs on Arena, you only get 2 uncommons instead of 3, and you only get 5 commons opening packs instead of 10. Yeah, because you get 14 picks, and one of them's a basic land that's not usually in there. Okay. So yeah, you'll get more cards at the commons and uncommon level by doing any sort of draft than you would just buying packs in the store. But I'm not going to worry too much about the commons and uncommons, because if you draft enough, you're just naturally going to get play sets and collect enough packs. You're just naturally going to get enough play sets of all the commons and uncommons through those methods. And what you don't, the packs you open will have common and uncommon wild cards, and you get uncommon wild cards from like various other methods as well. So I'm not too worried about those. I'm more worried about the rares. So the idea with the quick draft method is that we're going to take all the rares that we see and don't have 4 copies of. This is different from Premier Drafts, where I highly don't recommend that you do that in Premier Drafts, because you'll end up with not a good deck, and you're spending double the cost of this to enter a Premier Draft. And in Premier Draft, you really want to focus on building a good deck rather than just scooping up every rare in sight. But in Quick Draft, we can more get away with that sort of thing. So what else is going on? So the main idea behind this is we do double the amount of drafts. We're going to have less packs overall, just sort of naturally when compared to the Premier Draft methods. That's why it's not really the full scope of the story if we just compared number of packs and number of gems it costs to enter the drafts and number of gems won in the drafts. So there's a bit more to it going on than just that. So while I'm doing the quick drafts, I'm also going to keep a tally of how many rares I get in the drafts, because sometimes you'll get more than, sometimes some of the bots will pass rares, in which case you can get a quick drafts. I've had quick drafts before where I've gotten 6 or 7 rares. Those are kind of extraordinary. I will say I did do one quick draft before of Brothers War before doing this recording, and in that draft I got 4 regular rares, 1 retro artifact rare, and 1 retro artifact mythic rare. So that's a total of 6 rares and mythics across just the scope of the draft, and I ended up getting 7 wins in that, so that gave me 2 more packs and 950 gems. It was a great time that you can rare draft and then still do very well in the draft. Now, I know there's other value drafters in that, and what they'll do in these quick drafts is they'll pick up the highest rarity of every card in every single pack and have absolutely no regard to building a deck or doing well with the deck they end up getting. And you can do that. You will end up with more uncommons in a shorter number of drafts doing that sort of thing. And the math does work out where that is in your favor. I'm not going to dispute any of that. However, I think, and this is right now just an opinion, I don't have the data on this yet. That is what I'm working on gathering. But I think it would be better served if you do the quick drafts, do a rare drafting method, but then also focus on building the deck and doing well in the event, so you can then work your way up and get some of these higher rewards. And I think that will be a better collecting method than just grab every rare, grab every uncommon. Doesn't matter if I don't have 4 of the uncommon, I'm going to grab the uncommon rather than picking what's best for the draft deck. I do believe that method does leave some value on the table when you disregard this. But Late Night Mega, you say, I don't do very well in these drafts, so therefore I don't draft much. Well, of course you don't do drafts, because you don't draft much. I don't play the saxophone well. That's because I never play the saxophone. I never practice that. The same thing is going to be true with drafting. If you're not playing it, you're not practicing it, you're not looking up, ways to draft better or looking at other content. I recommend you do all of those things, and you can get better at draft over time. Draft has become my favorite format, honestly. I've always liked the limited sort of formats where you don't know what sort of deck you're going to be building or using through the event. But that's just a personal preference. Anyways, what I'm going to do in this series, I'm going to do it for Brothers War, and I'm going to do it for the next set as well. Phyrexia All Will Be One. And I will just do quick drafts, and I will tally up how many rares I drafted from each draft, how many drafts I did, the same sort of data that we looked at for the Premier drafts, but in this case I'm also going to keep track of the number of rares that I'm getting in the drafts. Because sometimes it'll be 3, sometimes, like the one I just mentioned, I ended up getting 6 total, which is phenomenal. But this set also has the retro artifact thing, so you could potentially be opening packs that have 2 rares in them. So I want to try this method as well on a set that doesn't have that sort of thing going on with it, where you could get 2 rares in a pack, and just see how the numbers compare with that. So we're also going to have to look at the scope of our collection prior to opening packs, which is why I'm going to keep track of the rares. That is the method I'm going to try. Now, I did also mention that we're going to be talking about the golden packs, because a new thing that was also introduced with the Brothers War set was the concept of golden packs. And right now, we've been discussing this quick drafting method in comparison to taking this 5,000 gold and just going to the store and buying 5 packs with it. Because when you go to the store, you buy 5 packs, you get your 5 packs, you open them, that's all you ever get. And you're done, right? Also worth noting is that if you're entering this event with gems, 750 gems is less than the cost of 4 packs. In fact, the worst you can do is get 50 gems back. So you could even look at this as costing you 3.5 packs if you were to buy packs with gems. Just kind of a neat tidbit, I thought. Anyways, let's take a look at golden packs. So here's how golden packs work. If we go to the store, you can see we have golden pack progress up here. And so if we buy a pack of the Brothers War, you will get 1 notch on here. Once you buy 10 packs, you will get a golden pack. Oh, thank you for the pop-up there, Arena. So these golden packs will contain, they're guaranteed to contain 1 mythic and 5 other rares or mythic rares. There are chances for those rares to be mythics as well. And those rares or mythics will be from across any of the current standard sets, which are very nicely highlighted as such. You've got the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and the store will give you, like if I click on this, Adventures in the Forgotten Realm. It says, important note, this cannot be played in the current standard format. So it gives you a nice little divider. So golden packs could contain rares from any of those sets. So to get the golden packs, you buy 10 packs. Pack cost is 1,000 gold or 200 gems. I'm not going to count any sort of like other discounts, because sometimes the store will have discounts for like 10% off a pack. I'm not going to factor that into the calculations here. Those will just be considered bonus discounts outside of this sort of thing. But 10 packs would cost us 10,000 gold, which would be the cost of 2 quick drafts in this case. And just buying packs guarantees you'd get the 10 rares from the packs, and then you'd get the golden pack with 6 more rares or mythics in them. And so that's 16 rares or mythics for the cost of 10, which is a pretty good deal. However, once you spend that money, you don't get anything back. When you do a draft or some other event on Arena, you get something back. Either some amount of gems and maybe some other packs. You could end up getting 6 packs with the Premier draft. So it's kind of difficult to say, oh, yeah, it's better to just buy 10 packs than to do one Premier Draft because you'll get 16 rares out of that. Well, that may be true, but when we do a Premier Draft, we're going to get some amount of gems back, and if we do well enough in a Premier Draft, it becomes like a free Premier Draft, or we get enough gems to do another Premier Draft for free, and we make a profit, or we only lose like 100 or 500 gems doing that. So 10,000 gold could be worth one Premier Draft. It could be worth 2 or 3 Premier Drafts. That all kind of depends. I do think it's still worth it to do some form of Premier Draft or Quick Draft over just taking all of your funds and only buying packs and getting golden packs. I do, however, think that golden packs can be a nice supplement to your collection, maybe getting a couple of these for each standard set, buying enough packs to get those. I think that could be a nice way to complement the other collection methods, but I would not recommend or use this as the only primary method as well. Another thing to note is that when you do quick drafts or premier drafts, you will be entered into the ranking system for limited, which means... Oh, okay, I'm on limited. Which means at the end of the season, which is roughly each month, you will get these rewards based on what rank you get up to. And so if you're in bronze, you only do like one draft, you still get one extra pack at the end of the month. It's usually from the whatever the current standard set is, and you can see the rewards increase slightly. Don't stress yourself out over getting to diamond or mythic to get the 4th or 5th pack. If you get there, if I get there, I was like, if I get there, that's great. If I don't, that's okay. You can see the season ends in 5 days. I'm at diamond tier 4 in constructed. I may or may not get there in constructed, but I'm not going to like push myself to try and get there in the next 5 days. If it doesn't happen, I'm still going to get 4 packs, which they're just free packs and free gold. And that's awesome. I do highly encourage you, however, to try and make ranked, at least get to platinum each month in both constructed and limited. You can play constructed ranked events as much as you want for free. There's no cost to enter that. And when you're in bronze, silver, or gold, you will, any win you get, you rank up, or you get 2 notches towards the next tier or the next rank notches along here. And losses, you only lose 1 notch. So it's pretty easy to get up to the platinum rank as long as you're just playing ranked enough. And the same is true with limited. It follows the same sort of ranking system. Each win gives you 2 notches in bronze, silver, or gold tier. And that will get you to platinum. So at the end of the month, you would get 6 packs and 2,000 gold just for free. Or for playing all of these. Of course, entering the limited events is not free, but this is just a nice little bonus. I think you should pursue that to some degree. But anyways, that is the method I'm going to try with the quick drafting. I will have a separate video going over like the draft in action, and we'll play the games in that video too. And I will see you back here in this series once we get all of the quick draft data from Brothers War and Phyrexia all will be one. And we'll see how that compares to the Premier Draft methods from the first part. I'm excited to see how the data turns out. But for now, I'll take my leave.